Friends, I would like to provide you a full spectrum of corruption, confusion, problems, and cheating in our society. If the lecture is too lengthy, I will provide this to you in 2 or 3 parts, and this is part 1. So, coming to corruption, now we are seeing the wider dimension of it. There is corruption in the distribution of medicine, distribution of food, distribution of vaccine, allotment of bed in an hospital, ambulance services, handing over of the body, the cremation of the body, issuance of a death certificate, and everything. So by nature, man is known for bad actions, aspirations, attitudes, and sentiments. He is known for ego, self-righteousness, extravagance, and unsympathetic attitude towards others. And in this process, we totally forget what is right and what is wrong. And when we have power, we want to grab as much money or property as possible by hook or crook, by all wrong and bad methods, by shutting our eyes without thinking for a while what is right or what is wrong. We should realize that we should repent for this later. And this is nature's law, the universal phenomenon, the universal truth. So all people in this world realize this one day or the other. Some people realize during early stages of life and some at the back end. And if we realize at the end of the show it is of no use, earlier the better. So even the greatest of the great rulers, wealthiest among the wealthy, most powerful among the powerful, they could not carry any material benefit along with them. They had to leave everything behind and continue their journey to a different world, thereby realizing at the last milestone of their journey that material comforts beyond certain limit could not fetch them anything. So it's all a wasteful exercise, an unworthy attempt and waste of time. So what you reap ultimately is what you sow today. So all these unworthy attempts of amassing wealth and power will ultimately lead us to innumerable problems. It upsets our health, upsets our mind, and finally take us to a state of confusion, nothing else. So this is what our great philosophers and great rulers have preached us about. These things they have preached us, but we are yet to realize this concept, this eternal truth. We only know how to make life more miserable. See, do not aspire for too much of wealth, property, and comforts inadequate to what is required, but aspire for too much of knowledge, kindness, sympathy, and brotherly attitude towards others, and adequate wealth and adequate comforts. Of course, by our honest, sincere, and truthful efforts within certain accepted norms and moral barriers. So instead of repenting later, have a small family and be happy. So for everything there is an approved and accepted stage. Strictly adhere to that, life becomes smooth and easy going. Adhere to the limits in whatever you do. Do not go beyond certain extent and not become enslaved to anything, to any habit. Earn money by sincere methods and hard toil, then only you can understand the real value of it and can enjoy it better. Otherwise it goes the way it comes. And in government departments, especially in these states, the environment is 89% corrupt, 99% corrupt environment. Not that all are born corrupt, at least 80% of the people are born honest. But the corrupt system of bureaucracy and the political control, it converts the entire system into a corrupt system. Otherwise, survival becomes a problem. And as we could see, at least 95% of our politicians are corrupt to the core. And the honest 5%, they have no voice in democracy. They are driven to a corner. But what is surprising is corruption has become rampant and it has taken the deep roots in all walks of our life, not only in administration and politics. Of late, it has increased at an alarming rate. It has come in bigger proportions. Now it has become a way of life. So corruption can be in different forms, cash, kind, favors, etc. Even during those days of feudalism, corruption existed. Then it was mostly in the form of kind. Now it is extended to cash, check, DD, marketable securities, appointments, promotions, land, building, site, property, the drink parties, dinner parties, and so on, depending on the circumstances and the needs of the beneficiary. So all this is because of one, the very weak attitude of human beings and the nature of falling prey to easy methods of earning money. Number two, due to economic imbalance in the society. Number three, due to increasing needs and comforts of the people owing to the scientific and technological advancements creating enormous gadgets. And four, it is due to wrong policies of the government, heavy taxation, and so on. And man has failed to understand the real values of life, the morals of life. There is no philosophical approach towards anything. He wants to grab as much power, position, money, and wealth as is possible in as short a period as possible by adopting all shortcut methods, wrong methods, illegal methods, the unlawful methods, without caring for values in life. You try to evaluate everything in terms of money. So today the prices of all essential commodities like the cooking oil, pulses, vegetables, petrol, diesel, gas, medicines, they have gone beyond the reach of a common man. Moreover, we have to pay tax on everything, tax on tax also. So in our own country, we have become economic slaves. We are harassed at every stage and treated like criminals by our own people. You want to start business, even before you put the board, you will get notices from the corporation and tax authorities with 100 queries. Dishonest people can pay and get on, whereas honest have to suffer a lot. So business fellows, they are very prompt in collecting the tax, the GST, from all the customers. But they are not prompt in remitting it to the government. And the government also is not interested in correcting these loopholes in the system. If the system is foolproof, going by average expenditure of the individuals in the country, the revenue from GST alone should be at least 3 times more than the present income of the government. And if all big business fellows are made to pay income tax promptly, the revenue from income tax alone should be at least 4 times more than the present income from income tax. So on the other hand, they go on increasing, instead of correcting these methods, they go on increasing the taxes, whether salt or oil, medicine or medical treatment, without any mercy. Therefore, the poor are becoming poor and the rich are becoming more and more rich. So mere increase in the tax rates or the commodity rates, it does not increase the revenue of the budget, revenue of the government. It's only the strong execution that matters. So any government policy, it targets always the poor. So to recoup this, you are a government servant, that too in a state government employee, you demand money not to misplace a file, extra money to move the file, separate money to write favorably, additional money to get that passed, and finally last installment to celebrate the success. Therefore, the contractors collude and they increase the quote value accordingly. So in the hierarchy, the entire chain has become corrupt, from a class 4 to a cabinet minister, especially in the local governments. Therefore, they demand without fear. So as the entire system and 95% of the people are corrupt, you have no alternative except to bribe and get your things done. So you cannot hit your head against a granite stone. Even if you are employed in a good job, there is no comparison between your salary hike and the increase in the prices of essential commodities. There could be an overall increase of 50% in salary over a period of 10 years. But the inflationary increase in the market in 10 years, it would be certainly more than 300%. See, a police officer, a registration officer or the registration authorities, the tax authorities, they cannot maintain their so-called standards with the meager salaries they get. So what is the option? Demand money as a matter of right and make money. Otherwise they spoil the case. That's all. So in the democratic system we have, the politicians cannot contest the election unless they spend minimum 10 crore. You require money for the posters, banners, advertisements to look after the big gang of supporters, rowdy elements, the police personnel, other authorities for distribution of the drinks and the hype. So later they collect this, once they are elected, they collect this from businessmen and shut their eyes for all abnormalities and unfair incidents or happenings during their regime when they come to power. So we are only the silent spectators. There's no control, no checks, no measures, increase in tax, increase in prices. The government collect money from the contractors, they create unnecessary and confusing measures to make money, collect money for creation of ports, granting of permits, licenses, transfers, promotions, etc. So whatever they do only with an eye on the personal gains. Earn money by illegal methods, collect money by granting licenses to bars and restaurants, even in areas where the schools, temples, and the hospitals are situated. They are located, and still win the elections with men and manpower. So the officials and the officers in the government, if they are honest or sincere, they find it difficult even to stay in a rented house in a city. But what is the reality? What is the truth? So each one will have not one but four own houses, not one but four big sites, all luxurious, in all luxurious posh areas, and crores of rupees in their account. So how do they get all this? This is the paradox of life and the real state of affairs in the society. Not only to get an appointment, even to register your name for an appointment, even to enroll your name in an office, nothing is done if you directly approach, and everything is done if it is through brokers. There are more number of brokers than regular employees or customers in the premises of a revenue office or an RTO's office. Everybody knows this and everybody speaks about this, but nobody controls this. So this is the shameful state of affairs in which we live today. Finally, the best example for wrong administration is our city transport and the state transport buses. They never work, they never cooperate, they are never punctual, they swallow money by not giving tickets, by giving used tickets, by giving duplicate tickets, by selling the tires, tubes, and by swallowing everything. We see this, see at all levels from MD to a mechanic. Still public do not resist because they undergo all humiliation and harassment. Otherwise, for every small thing, the employees of this organization may go on strike. In the so-called scientific institutions, what is this status? In the scientific institutions of the government, it can be state or center. There is no scientific sense, no economic sense, no duty sense. Things are being wasted without any account. People are sent to training several years in advance than taking up the project or procuring the equipment. So we procure equipment just for the sake of procuring, no cost evaluation, no benefit evaluation. The senior scientists are wasting their time without proper work to do, participating in the useless meetings. There are no decisions, no proper reviews, no evaluation, no comparison, no cost conscious, no duty conscious. So they want to purchase and they want to dump all that is available in the market, useful or not, and forget about the benefit. You do not want to maintain even the account of what you have procured. No proper definition or delegation or allocation of duties and responsibilities. So it's only a tamasha going on. Very interesting to watch. So in the government departments, you have to control the unnecessary expenditure, unnecessary travels, unnecessary TADA, hiring of vehicles, courtesy, hospitality, expenditure on seminars, conferences, etc., etc. So you apply the principles of financial prudence in all walks of life, whether government or private. Close all sick government units, causing unnecessary expenditure to the exchequer. And you have a strict vigilance, give them proper workload, evaluate their performance, and make them responsible and accountable. You define the path and targets. You define the accountability, responsibility, the scope of work, time limit, everything clearly. So this is about the government department. So coming to police, they are appointed not to protect the public, only to protect the rich and powerful and make money. They create confusion and make money. They hire robbers, gundas, and the antisocial elements so that cases can flow in and they can make money. In our state, we find every 10 meters one liquor shop. Our leaders speak of Mahatma. All depends on the cash inflow from the business people. So looking at may I help you boards in the government offices, government bus stops or police stations, if you go there for help, you are disappointed. Friends, they will never even utter a single word of courtesy. They will only give all irritating replies. We feel like slapping the butt, keep quiet under helpless condition. In Bangalore, the BTS system, the water and sewerage system, the electricity board, the corporation, they are all the best examples for the corruption, mismanagement and wrong administration. In long route buses, even if all seats are vacant, the booking status shows full. What a great magic it is. In universities, which are supposed to be the centers of excellence, the marks cards are sold and question papers are sold. There is corruption in valuation, corruption in tabulation. Papers are sold, papers are replaced, they are misplaced. Wrong information is fed to the computers. So how to cover or how to overcome all this? You should be a magician or a powerful politician or a very rich man. In this context again, it is not only your hard work and sincerity that fetches you the position, but your fate, your destiny and luck also plays its role. There is brain drain on account of this. So the doctors, nursing homes, lawyers, the private educational institutions, private teachers, they all charge us heavily without any mercy. This is the position in the society outside the government department. So once you enter into this circle, you cannot come out of them until you become economically zero and your borrowing capacity becomes zero. So the rich is growing richer and the weak is becoming weaker. Medical and engineering seats are sold, they are auctioned in public. So whoever is economically strong can buy it, paying 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs per seat. If you are only strong intellectually, you will go for typing or clerical work in a private firm. Lead a miserable life. You cannot get education to your children, even if they are intelligent and deserving. You cannot marry off your daughter. You cannot own a house. You cannot even pay rent. Your hair turns grey at 40. You look very old at 50 and you die at 60. That is the story of the common man. So what is the nasty system we have today? Cheating has become a profession. Gundaism has become a profession. Prostitution has become a profession. And above all, they claim recognition and rights. For everything, you have to go to brokers. For a government work, for a rented house, for the purchase of a house, a seat in school, for a marriage, for a jewelry, for a site, to get working men or personnel, to get the coolies, to hire a vehicle, to book a seat in a bus or train or aeroplane, to purchase the shares and debentures, to book the cinema tickets, and for everything, everything is monopolized and unlawfully controlled by the rowdy elements. So as far as possible, you bring the direct link between the seller and the purchaser in all areas. Coming to public, in the name of donations and contributions, the gundas make enough money. They collect money by force. So this should be systematically organized in a way it does not harm or torture the really poor and the weaker sections. The police, the taluk authorities of the district authorities should immediately swing into action and provide security to the poor and the weaker sections. Unless you bribe, they don't come out. The favor they do is always proportionate to the money that you pay. They do not consider it as service, they consider it as favor. They do not consider it as their duty, they consider that as a benefit extended to us. Friends, so this is the status of the society today in which we are living, and of course we should also strive hard, and there should also be a contribution from our side in improving the things. Thank you.